Okay, here we go again. We're talking about, okay, thank you for bringing this up. I'm not being serious, you know that, right? Back to that. Okay. Yeah, I told you guys in the book, when you put this in there, you guys put this, I don't, did it make it into the book? I'm not 100% sure. No, I haven't. I haven't gone through it after you guys did what you did to it. Well, what everybody went in there and started taking things out. Security people, all the other different people that would lead to somebody. Right. So you did. This is now to make clear. Black and Jew Clown Rally is because there's two groups, black group and the Jewish group, who got together. Then you combined and made a black and Jewish group, and yeah, and some black Jews. Don't want to forget the black Jews. Some who are black Jews. Okay. ESPN is the most racist network on the air. I don't watch it that much. I might turn it on and zip forward to see if there's any news about the Chiefs, but as to sit there and watch the other stuff they put on, I don't really watch it. So what we're going to do is talk about it. We'll go show by show, and you can explain, well, first of all, why here. You exclude the Catholic guy, but you say there is what you call the Wasp Killer, right? And the Wasp Killer is taking over Disney, and the Wasp Killers, for anybody who doesn't know, is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. They want him gone. They got rid of him. And I asked you, and I said, okay, give me the white Protestants that work for ESPN. Yeah, active white Protestants. Somebody that goes to church on Sunday, correct? You couldn't give me any. Not one. Right. So, is it the most racist network on TV? Is it a daily black and, as you say, black and Jew Klan rally? From the clips you've shown me, yeah. So let's start off. The first one in the morning is Get Up with Mike Greenberg. Now, you, okay, 4 of you have worked with this man. He does not like white people, white Protestants, right? He's Jew first. So that's what you have to understand when they're talking about this, is that the Jewish people on here are Jew first, and the black people on here are black first. Right. So he does not like white people, and he will take, and the producers are Jewish for the most part. I name one that's not. Okay. Right. So your whole point being is that any chance he gets to take a shot at a white Protestant player, coach, owner, he will. And the plan, you said, and you guys have all talked about this, is that you have to get white Protestants out of the. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of white Protestants that are Democrats. Okay, they're not real white Protestants. I got you. I don't know. So as we go along, you're going to talk about this. So forget up Mike Greenberg, straight up racist, does not like white Protestant people. You showed me many examples of him talking about his analysis, where he looks like a little bookish guy taking his glasses off and looking at the screen and talking about the evils of white people. You never hear him talk about the evils of a black person or the evils of a Jewish person. Never. I asked you to show me one, and you could not. Right. Donald Sterling was a guy. You said he got ran out for making, I guess, racist comments when he was dating a black woman. I just don't get that. But beyond that, right? And yeah, he got rid of this Golick person. He wanted him gone. Well, the Wasp Killer wanted him gone because Mike Golick, and they used to have a show called, what was it? Golick and Wingo, or Golick and, that was a new show. Golick and Greeny, Golick and Greenberg. I don't know what the name of it was, but they they assigned Wingo, I think, who I don't know what his religion is, and Golick to this early morning show on the secondary network, and they put Mr. Greenberg up on the main network with his own show. Right, and his whole basis of the show is it's supposed to be a sports talk show, but if you watch it and you listen to it, it's always a negative thing about white people, white Protestant people. It's just a constant bashing of white Protestant people. For white person is a white Protestant, they're evil. If you're a black Protestant, to see the thing about it is that's one thing you guys have pointed out in the black group, and I want everybody to understand this. There's a big difference, a huge, stupendous difference in Christianity right now. It is black Christianity and there's everybody else. Right. Because in black Christianity, to be a black Christian, you have to be a black first. Your race, your racial, which I say your race, which is what you make up, overtakes whatever you are. And it, your race is a lie. So, your racist label takes over everything else. Correct. You don't hear somebody stand up, people in a white Protestant church, and you guys have known this, you've told me, you don't hear them stand up and say, I'm a proud white Protestant. No, I'm a Christian. Yeah, that's what white people say. I'm a Christian, right? I have Christian values. Black people will say, I'm a black Christian, right? There's a difference. You put your race before anything else, and even though your race is a lie, right? Just like a Jew, I'm a Jewish, but Jews have mastered the point of trying to sneak that little, what you call it, snake their way in there, just like the one did it in the, right? They're the snakes in the Garden of Eden, right? That's what you call yourself. I like that analogy. We snake our way in there. Because you'll see Jews will say, well, white people this, and make a derogatory comment about white people. Like, well, it's a white guy saying that. Jews don't consider themselves white. Jews consider themselves a race. Okay, most Jews consider themselves a race. Correct. Are you a Jew or a black Jew? Think about it. Yeah, think about that. What are you identified as? A black Jew. There you go. And yes, the right wing of Judaism has that, the mafia thing where you had to go back 6 generations to double check, make sure where you come from. And the thing about it is, when you started doing your DNA, you find out, oh, you Jewish people? Yeah, not so much. Right. In the ancestry thing, when you look at the ancestry thing, it says somebody's Jewish. There's no way of knowing that. Everybody else comes from a country, right? But Jews have their own little, like, you're a Eastern European Jew. You don't know that. It's just where you came from. Correct. You don't know your ancestry. You can't trace it back to you can't trace it back to the biblical times. Nobody can. So just stop. Everybody who's a Jew today joined Judaism at some point. They just like all the Jews didn't suddenly, okay, we're gonna sneak out of here and go to Europe and recreate ourselves. That didn't happen. Yeah, history shows that didn't happen. Yeah, Jews, anybody who's in a religion, join the religion. It's a conscious choice to join it. It's a conscious choice to stay in it. But Jews, like you said, and the things you write, consider themselves a race. So when you hear Greenberg or what's the other, Kellerman, or any of these Jews on ESPN say something about negative about white people, they're speaking to it as if they're as if they're another race. Correct. So, and this is going to be a long one, so you got to hang on for a while. Right. So the people on this are the standard people are Ryan the Racist Clark, that's what you guys named him. Yeah, he's a super racist. Dominique Foxworth, he's straight up racist, right? Now, you talk about Marcus Spears, kinda, and Damian Woody. I don't know. Those guys don't seem to be, they seem to be more analytical. They seem to be more in the Jason Whitlock version, right? The Jason Whitlock lane than they are in the what do you say, Marcus Wiley, whatever his name, Marcellus Wiley lane of, intellectual racism. That's Marcellus Wiley and Whitlock were guys on this show called Speak for Yourself, right? So they were both blacks, but they had separate. So when you start looking at the comparison, you start a comparison where you have straight up racists like Marcellus Wiley, and you have intellectual people. I'm not saying Jason Whitlock's not a racist, but he analyzes things, and it's not cool when you do certain things, and talk about white people in a certain way, different way. Okay, so I'm not going to list them. That you guys can. I know you have. So then you have Dan Orlovsky. I say it wrong all the time. Kind of a whipping boy, but yeah, he agrees, right? Pre-production, they're told, you cannot disagree with this racist point we're going to make. So he comes on there and starts talking about race, like, as an example of a white man. No, I understand that. Yeah, he has to have a job, right? And he wasn't a good football player, according to you. I don't know, but yeah, it's career backup, understood. But he comes on there, and he'll come on there and make these, stern comments about racism. Please, just shut up. You don't have a point. And you have Adam Schefter, who the king of, yeah. Yeah, the racist call guy, the guy that makes all the racist calls, right? Anytime he talks about management and it's a Christian management, they're evil, and what they're trying to do to their players is evil. He talks about a Jewish-owned team. They're just so understanding and compassionate. So he has a standard for white Christian owners and a standard for Jewish owners, and they're totally different. And you showed me many examples of his way he skews his point of view to racism, like these evil white owners. But the evil white owners he always talks about as being racist are white Christian owners and not Jewish owners, which the most racist ones are the Jewish owners. Correct. All right. So as we move along and through this, we get up. It's, yeah, you watch things on there and you see things. The examples you gave were Antonio Brown was caught on tape. This guy's like beat up a white guy. Him and another guy beat up this white guy or Hispanic guy, a moving guy. He was out there yelling at this girl in the street, calling her white this, white that. He was called the general manager of the team a cracker and a peck of wood and all that stuff. Yet they welcome him back because if a black player says that, they just sweep it under the rug. That's not racist if a black player says that. But if a white Protestant guy makes even the one slip up, and the examples you gave me are Riley Cooper, who got drunk at a concert and dropped the N-word. I'm saying it because I don't know who's going to be listening. So I know you guys don't like it when I say that. You want me to use the actual word. He was ostracized and out of the league, which goes to the racism in the league. If you're a white guy and you make a slip up and you say something bad, you're ostracized by the media and by the players in the locker room as evil. But if you're a black guy and you make a slip up, or if, like you said, you point out Myles Garrett hit that man upside the helmet, then made up a story that he called him the N-word, and he didn't. And the lie detection group, the polygraph group, they all looked at his interviews and what he said about that, and they say he's flat out lying. And they looked at the tape. Now, I I know the NFL could do this, and I know ESPN could do this, but you can pull that tape up, and it takes 3 separate movements of your mouth to say that word. And not Miles Garrett, but Mason Rudolph never said that. But if you say it was said, that's just as good as it being said, because you showed me all these things about, well, if he said it, then he deserved to be murdered. You showed me the one. I showed me the one from Skip Bayless, where he said that if a white person says the N-word, that a black person should be able to go out and put their fists, their hands, or whatever. In other words, he's saying that if a white person says that word, that he should be murdered, justifiably murdered by a black person for saying a word. Right. So they made that word like evil, but then you listen to, like you said, you listen to the rap music and the music, and that's all it is. So if a 12-year-old white kid is singing something he heard on some rap lyrics he heard, and a 12, 14-year-old black kid sees him and beats him to death with a freaking baseball bat, according to the Jewish people on here, like Greenberg and Kellerman and Skip Bayless on the other network, and Jim Rome and Nick Wright, that's justifiable murder. That is justifiable homicide. If a white kid, a little white kid, hears a song and sings the song, and a black kid hears it and murders him, that's justifiable homicide. Of course, you guys pointed that out. That's what it is. And the same thing, Kellerman, he deserved it. He got it. He said it. Kellerman makes the assumption that the black person's telling the truth and the white person's lying. The black guy, in this case Miles Garrett, is telling the truth. That's his assumption, right? And then Mason Rudolph is a liar. The white Christian guy is a liar. The black Christian guy is a truth teller. The white Christian guy is a liar. And you know how many people are going to hear this and going to say, yes, exactly. Well, even if he's not a Christian, if he's a white guy that doesn't go to church, hasn't been to church in his life, still it's justifiable. But he didn't say it. That's the whole point. Yeah, and it's easily proven. But they said, well, let's sweep that under the rug. Right. I mean, it's justifiable racism. And that's what ESPN and their networks do. They justify racism all the time. If you're a white Protestant owner, if you're a white Protestant player, if you're a white Protestant coach, if you're a white Protestant fan, you're evil. You're Satan. Well, they don't believe in Satan. You're just evil, and you need to be gone from the sports arena. You need to be gone from the United States. That is the ultimate goal. Am I correct? Why are you texting me? Oh, okay. All right. We'll start this off on another one. Well, we're only about 20 minutes into it, so right. You can listen to the whole thing and talk about how racist it is. You just got to watch and you got to look and you got to say, what? Yeah, the Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid thing. They demean Andy Reid's importance to the Kansas City Chiefs, even though we proved with the video we put up, right? It's beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond any doubt, that Andy Reid makes the calls, calls the plays. Does that mean, and they're holding that teams, a Jewish team, let's see, who hired a coach? Let's see, New York Jets, well, they hired a guy from Lebanon. And the Detroit Lions, that's a Christian team. Who else had one? Oh, Jacksonville Jaguars, so that's Shad Khan, right? He can't blame him for not hiring a black coach. Right. I'm trying to think of who were the other teams that hired coaches. There were 7 coaching vacancies available. I know that. Right. I just can't think of who they were. Jeffrey Lurie, that proud stand-up Jewish guy, who did he hire? Yeah. So the whole point is why they're the most racist network on the air is that the total disdain they hold white Protestants to. Now, I'm a Catholic. I'm a Democrat. All right. So I don't really read into it what you guys are, but you say what you're coming from is from behind the scenes and saying what goes on behind the scenes, and that this hatred and racism brought about by these guys is pre-planned. Right. The Eric Bieniemy thing. I mean, we get to keep coming back to that, and I keep understanding why you want to, because in production means there to say, don't say when you talk about the Chiefs. Always make sure you say Eric Bieniemy when you say Andy Reid. Must say Eric Bieniemy, even though Eric Bieniemy doesn't call the plays. Eric Bieniemy hears the play and passes it on to Patrick Mahomes. Now that's the truth. That's a fact. Okay, simple as that. Andy Reid draws up the plays. He talks to the players. You know, he's come a long way where he talks to Patrick, talks to Travis. They work out stuff, and he takes it in and works his magic. Eric Bieniemy, I'm sure, does too. But you don't need to demean Andy Reid, because when you say, well, why hasn't he got a job? It must be the racist. Well, let's talk to Jeffrey Lurie. Okay, Mr. Greenberg, why aren't you talking to Jeffrey Lurie? Why didn't he hire him? You're screaming about everybody else not hiring a black coach. What happened to Jeffrey Lurie? Correct. What about last year? Who did your guy up in owns the Giants? You could have hired a black coach. He didn't. Huh? What about it? About Mr. Tepper down in Carolina? He could have hired a black coach. He didn't. Maybe these Jewish owners are racist against who? You won't point that out, will you, Mr. Greenberg? You don't want to go up against the Jewish coaches, do you? The Jewish ownership? No. See, they're going to hear my voice and they're going to think this is this. Will you stop texting me? People understand they're talking in my ear and they're texting me at the same time, because they can't have their voices be heard, because somebody on one of these shows might recognize them and their careers will be ruined. They won't be able to work, because in the media, if you're not, what did you say? If you're not an anti-white Protestant in the media, then you don't get in the media, right? If you don't hate white Christian people, especially white Christian males. All right, so let's move on. We can establish that Get Up is a racist thing. Oh, yeah, you wanted to get back onto you talked about the Myles Garrett thing. All right, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill blames, the reason why he punches his son and beats his son is because his son's black and the white people don't give a about his kid. This multi-millionaire beats his son and blames white people who are giving him millions of dollars. Well, when you say white people, you're just a liar, because that's just an excuse. That shows that how much of a coward Tyreek Hill is. Myles Garrett shows how much of a coward Myles Garrett is, right? Shows how much a coward Antonio Brown is, right? Stand up and say what you said. Shows how much a coward Mike Greenberg is. Mike Greenberg is a big coward. Come on there and say, I don't like white Protestants, right? Ryan Clark, come on. I don't like white Protestants. I think they should be dead. They should be murdered and should be kicked out of this country. I think this country should be only for black Christians and Jews. Maybe a few Catholics. But Catholics, watch out, because you're next. There's not very many of you left, and I'm guaranteeing you they're looking for a way to get you out. Is that what you said? They're looking for a way to get you out. And the goal is by the end of 2022 to have that whole network be blacks and Jews, no Catholics. Even as guests. Yeah, because you point out that, all right, let's skip to that. Sunday morning, NFL Countdown has, now here's the one thing that they make a point, and I'm going to make this point. I don't agree with it, but this is a point they made, so I can't dispute it, that white women are okay on these networks for one simple reason. Two simple reasons. Yeah, I wish I could put you on here because this sounds better coming from one. White women hate white men more than blacks and Jews hate white Protestant men. Exactly. White women hate them more. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But that's the way she pointed out. She said that's why there's not. And you'll hear these white women like if. And the thing they pointed out, there's a lot of different shows, and they pointed out the things they do. The digs they made at this guy Orvalowski and Ryan on these shows is just they're constantly making digs. You see, you can make a dig at a white guy on TV, and Mr. Greenberg will sit there and just take it because to him he's not white. He's Jewish. Jewish first, white second. Remember that. Always remember. His Jews hold themselves as Judaism as a race, and their Judaism before their skin color. So Jew first, right? Blacks hold their race before their religion, their race before anything else. So I'm a black this, so they have to have that racist label, even though the Patrick Mahomes thing we did, you talked about. Patrick Mahomes is 67% white and his or more. And he says, I'm a black man. Well, no, you're not, Patrick. You're a liar. You know, I love you. You're my quarterback of my team, but just don't stop the lying. Just say, okay, I might be a majority Caucasian, but I choose to only count myself as this because when you threw your mom up to the side and said, oh, by the way, I got a white mom too. Oh, that was disgusting. That is the most disgusting thing I've seen. And with somebody who everybody raises up as this, face of the league, a racist face of the league, because I cannot sit back and I didn't realize that. I'm still kind of burned by that because I didn't find that out until yesterday that you said that. And that's just disgusting, Patrick. You're a disgusting little man. Yeah. Yeah, this will never make it on there, but I'm just showing you. We'll put this out there. I know you'll get some views, but who knows? Okay, so you start off in the morning. First thing is get up. And get up is a early morning black and Jew Klan rally, tearing down and attacking. Because I said, give me 2 weeks worth of shows. And every day on the 2 weeks worth of shows that you went through, you gave me at least 5 examples each day where they made a demeaning comment about white people and or white ownership or a white Christian. They made demeaning comments. The one show there was, it's constant daily bashing of white Christian men. Not white Christian women, but white Christian men, or whites in general. So I guess that would include men and women, right? Yeah. So, and Christians don't include Catholics. Okay, so let's just do a separate video and we'll go on to the next show, which is, First Take. What did you call it? First Take, Racist Take? Okay, we'll do that one.